We need more power.
Single or are you taken?
I'm taken.
Would you cheat?
If he found out, no. If he didn't find out, yeah.
Why?
Because I want to be a free woman.
Then why are you in a relationship?
Because I love my boyfriend.
What? I'll lock you up.
Let me tell you a little secret. She's not going to change. She's not going to get better. She's going to get worse. Not if you marry her, not if you communicate better, not if you're nicer, kinder, more good looking, more respectful, less demanding, more emotionally intelligent. If you are in a dysfunctional or an abusive relationship, let this be your sign. She won't change. You cannot love her into treating you better. She doesn't view you as a person. She views you as a tool, an object, a source of free labor, money, social capital. She'll never change unless something compels her to change. Giving her more of what she wants without any change in behavior is a disincentive for her to do better. She will only change when she is faced with losing something significant, when your relationship ends or is threatened. And even then, she will only create the illusion of change, not real change. She likely won't do the work. Don't give her more in the hopes of improvement. She'll only take more if you do.
She's right, but this is a weird development I've been seeing over the past couple of weeks. Guys, it looks like after the recent Western election, the feminists are seeing a civil war. And it's pretty glorious. I mean, we all knew the facts, that women aren't wired to form large, cohesive groups, that they can't be sound leaders without tons of masculine input, and that they secretly hate each other, bringing in the big one at clubs for much-needed contrast. None of it's new. We've seen it on a daily basis. What does seem to be new is that the situation for them has gotten so out of hand that women are scrambling to correct each other and make sense of the renewed world we find ourselves in, with masculine objectives for peace and prosperity for all. There seems to be a deepening divide in their community. Some are shaving their heads, some are putting on the apron to cosplay as a 1950s housewife, and some seem paralyzed, not even knowing what the next move should be because they assumed a feminist would be the next US elect. The contrast is strange. Before we go on with the video, let me drop the comment of the day. Shout out to Frick Society 137 who shared, "Do women take guys on dates? Yup, court dates." That's a solid comment. I have not seen that one before, so thank you for that comment. So don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always, guys, I'll be picking one comment from each video. Could be the funniest, the most liked, or just one that moved me. So don't forget to leave a comment, and you may be our very next winner. So be sure to hit that like and sub button too, as that helps out the channel a ton, guys. And also, we got a second channel linked in the description. I'll be posting similar stuff there too, so subscribe to that just in case. Link is right below. Now back to the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
How tall are you?
Okay, wait, how tall do you think I am?
4'11"?
Almost 5'2".
5'2"?
5'1".
5'1".
That's my actual height, probably. 5'1 and a half. 5'1 and a half, okay?
So at 5'1 and a half, how tall would you want your man to be?
Oh, my man. Oh. Ooh. He has to be at least 5'10". I'm small, so I'm not like, oh, you have to be 6'2". So 5'10" is a good height.
But why aren't you as attracted to the man who's 5'6"?
5'6"? It might sound crazy. I don't really come out to the clubs a lot, but it's like a comfort thing. Like, can you protect me if we're damn near the same height? You know what I mean?
So a man that's my height, you feel well protected.
I do. Yeah, like you could like kick some fucking ass for me.
You like it when a man is kicking ass for you?
I want him to be able to.
Well, why is that important?
It's very important. A girl doesn't want to date a guy that's a pussy.
Next.
I don't measure a man by how much money he can bring home. I measure a man by how he treats me. Whether when I'm tired and I'm sick and I'm scared, he's there.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
Nice shot!
Women of the past had it right.
And the system mirrored this. Now it's in complete disarray, which is why even women seem to be in favor of a masculine overhaul. I said this in a recent video, but the concept of women begging for a cleaning crew is cliche. What men really want is total change. We want to see the behavior and systems altered so radically that we barely remember this hellscape in another decade or so. But that's wishful thinking. For now, we just have a tedious debate among women, like this counter article to the shaved heads called A. SEX Strike is a Losing Strategy for American Women.
No shit.
No dating men, no sex with men, no heterosexual marriage, and no childbirth. These are the 4 principles of South Korea's 4B movement, a radical feminist movement that gained popularity in 2019 in response to sexism, hidden camera pornography, and intimate partner issues. After Donald Trump's victory, some American women have sought out the movement.
We didn't know you even existed until recently.
But it would be a mistake for women in the United States to adopt its principles, which risk alienating those who would be our allies while ensuring little actually changes about our reality. Some American women are already devising plans to apply used pads to trucks with MAGA stickers and undergo voluntary surgery.
Totally rational reaction.
TikTok and Instagram Reels videos related to the 4B movement gained millions of views this week, and Google searches spiked in the US on Wednesday, most notably in Democratic states.
Please, you're making a German spectacle of yourself.
Trump's win was devastating for many women. Their rage is understandable. Incorrect. But a 4B-style reaction is not constructive or sustainable. Women shouldn't reduce their ability to demand policy changes and equal dignity to the ways in which we should or should not have sex or bear children. The 4B philosophy is short-sighted, primarily because it demonizes men, including those who champion equality and reproductive freedom, while constraining the women who participate in it. Man, it's always a mixed bag here, and it's solely because all these chicks are walking bundles of contradictions.
We are women that actually get to live on our own,
bro,
for the first time in like history.
Bro, I literally saw a girl on TikTok was like, we are the first generation in a lot of our lineage to be women to pay and paying all of our own bills without a man and no kids.
Yes, and you have the luxury to choose to do that.
Choose. This is not like, oh, this is what I want to do, and I don't need a man for it.
And
if a man comes, cool, but I don't need a man.
I don't need him for that.
Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, okay, like once I started thinking about it like that, it really helped me learn how to be alone, because I was like, in reality, I'm looking at my apartment and all this is me right here.
On one end, they claim that they're unfree to do as they wish. And then in the same breath, they go on and on about how they need to rise up and take action. Ladies, if society wasn't free, there would be no rising up and taking action. The second you donned that pink hat, you'd be tossed in a federal van on your way to a corrections facility. And the only situation remotely similar to this is how men in England are being treated for talking about farming rights on Facebook. Moreover, throwing used pads at trucks and undergoing radical procedures to prove your point, well, that's not exactly the sign of a rational thinker. It's more than what one would expect from the crazy cat lady under a freeway overpass who hasn't received a fix in 3 days. The denial is palpable.
So the thing that I'm constantly seeing on social media every day is people, men and women, saying that the 4B crashed or it failed or it's not working or whatever. And I'm here to say, yes, it is. The only reason why this was a movement, I said this before, is because millions upon millions upon millions of women all around the world got on social media or whatever, and we realized that we were not the only ones going through a lot of the same stuff with males. Thus, it became a movement. Most of us were already 4Bing before there was even a name for it, right? So if this so-called movement failed tomorrow or whatever, according to you guys, these men will still be dry peeing out here. There's still going to be a male loneliness epidemic. It's going to get worse. The attacks on women and stuff is going to get worse. These laws that go against women's rights are going to get worse. And the reason why these things are happening is because all these women all over the world are closing up shop. And this is the part that y'all don't get. The 4B has worked and it will continue to work for those of us who are in it and who support it. Typically, those of us who are literally in it, it's working for us. Now, let me count all the ways that it's working for us. We're not being cheated on. We're not being lied to and gaslit. We sleep like babies at night. The women who ever had dating apps, I never had one. But for those of the women with a half a brain even who had dating apps, they deleted them shits. You know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with all the woes and the BS that comes with dealing with males and their BS, right? We're not dealing with it. Okay? You guys are the ones who still got women coming to you as a woman. We're not dealing with any of this stuff, right? We're living our best lives, taking trips, working, making our own money, creating our gardens and all type. We're living life, boo-boo, right? Especially those of us who are in the 4B who are child-free. Don't even get me started on the child-free lifestyle, okay? So, sorry, but it's working for those of us who want to be in it or who is in it. Those women who are not in it and who don't support it and who think it's stupid, the reason why you feel that way is because you're male-centered. You don't have a purpose in life outside of having a man. That's why you don't understand it. Like I said before, a lot of you would unalive yourselves. You would self-delete if you knew you couldn't have a man. A lot of y'all are still out here kissing frogs to get to princes that you're never going to get. So y'all are still in this BS, this pissy, poopy dating pool. We're not in this pool getting pissed on every day and going through dating app woes and, you know, finding things out about your man and your husband is having an affair and all that. We're not dealing with zero of these things. That's what y'all don't get. A lot of us were 4Bing before there was a name for it. And many of us are going to 4B. Long after you think it's dead, it's not. We're still going to be safe. The only thing we really have to worry about is because of the fact that most of us that are in the 4B, a lot of us are the women that these men actually want. They don't actually want you pick-me chicks because you guys are already mentally conquered, right? So they still want us, so they're still going to hit on us and harass us and all that stuff. So we still have to deal with that aspect of it. And we also have to deal with, we don't know if these men are going to trip out and go rogue because we keep telling them no when they ask us for our phone numbers and then take us out on dates and stuff. So we still have to deal with that aspect. But outside of that, we don't have anything to worry about. So who is it not working for again? You? I wonder why.
She really thinks she did something there. Sorry for the brain rot, by the way, but she only revealed her insecurities with every hollow claim. The fact of the matter is that these women have been off the market for a long time. Men even longer, so this supposed effort really has done nothing to anyone, and it'll continue to be a nothing burger until women like the one in this clip gets wrinkles and 3 tabbies by the age of 35. No high-value male is looking at this video of a female lot lizard in her PJs and thinking, oh no, what am I going to do with my life? Nobody cared before, nobody cares now. All these women are doing is shooting themselves in the foot twice, and the feminists, without any semblance of self-control, are trying to push them back into line like that would change or fix anything.
It's hilarious!
Women have tried to use SEX strikes for political influence in Liberia, Kenya, Colombia, the Philippines, Belgium, and other countries. Aside from gaining publicity, there is little evidence to suggest that they successfully persuade people. The activist Leima Gwaubi, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011 for leading a women's protest movement credited for ending the Second Liberian Civil War, wrote in her memoir that sex strikes had little or no practical effect.
I could have told you that.
Trump's elections should spur American feminists to address gendered grievances in ways that could be more materially effective. In developed countries, women wield significant economic and purchasing power, control a majority of global consumer spending, and make up a substantial portion of the workforce. But you see, ma'am, you don't. And this was realized post-COVID, when companies didn't have spare cash lying around and proceeded with laying off massive clusters of female workers because, oh, look at that, they were expendable. Women always look at the markets and claim that their consumerism drives the economy, but they always seem to overlook the bottom line in typical female fashion, and there are 2 simple facts that verify this. First up, the money women are using to buy these products is earned by the breadwinning male. Most of these consumers elected a male because they know where the bread is buttered. That probably won't change either, considering you went on the media outlets and accused the same grocery shoppers of being uneducated and foolish. Smart move. And number 2, this one applies to feminist consumption. The shit that you guys are buying at crazy markups does very little to spur economic growth where it matters. Buying DoorDash meals and Sephora makeup isn't exactly a vital contributor to any country. It's actually a GDP hit that most of society would benefit from long term. Women don't seem to understand. If they follow modern values, their voluntary absence is a blessing for society.
The man you with don't respect you? The man you're with, does he respect you or not? The man you're with, does he respect you? Yes or no?
In some areas, no.
Then why are you there?
Because
Thank you. You're a strong, independent.
He's progressing.
If he doesn't respect you, why are you there?
Because he's taking the necessary steps to.
Because you're choosing to be with a man. Because you're choosing to be with a man that doesn't respect you. Just like you chose to be with a dude that was unequally financially yoked. You don't know how to pick what works.
Oh well.
I just got married a month ago, and this 4B movement has got me all the way fucked up, okay? So let's talk about it because, hi, I'm Jacqueline. I just got married a month ago, and now I'm learning about decentering men and not focusing on marriage, kids, any of that shit that our mothers and our grandmothers prioritized, right? So I want to give you a fresh perspective here because here's the thing about the internet. There's a lot of information out there that's polar opposite information out there that's highly convincing. It's highly enticing. It plays to your emotions, you know. And at the end of the day, I want to be the voice of reason for women out there who are kind of getting suckered into this 4B shit. I want to let you know that you can have it all, but it comes down to your personal choices. If you make bad choices when it comes to dating men, you're going to have bad outcomes. And I know you go into it with high hopes. I know a lot of us see the good in people and then we get burned and then we get abused and all that bullshit. And now we're over men and now we hate men. And I get how it gets to that point. But at the end of the day, I had to go through a lot to find my now husband. And at the end of the day, I always advocate for myself and what I want. I always tell my partner that this is what I need when it comes to, like, we even talk about having kids in the future and my needs around that. And he, you know, I pick someone who's on board, who's open-minded, who's receptive to me telling him these progressive ideas. We talk about the 4B movement. I can share this with him. And, you know, he thinks it's a bunch of bullshit like I do, but there's also pieces of it, like never sacrificing anything for a man. Like, that's something we both are obviously agree with. You know, a woman doing whatever the fuck she wants with her life and pursuing her dreams and not, you know, getting back, like putting all that on the back burner once she meets a man, because that's not healthy. We both believe it should be two independent people coming together as one who are both moving forward together. And I think a lot of the reason why women are like fuck men right now is because they've witnessed their moms, their grandmothers, a lot of other women, even now, that got married, settled down, had the family, and they've regressed while their husbands progressed. And they're like waking up to it now, and they're like, what the fuck? And again, it comes down to, now we have this awareness, it comes down to choices. This is America. You're free to do whatever the fuck you want. Now look, it's unrealistic to delete a man from your brain, to delete men from your brain, okay? You're still gonna get horny when you see Brad at the gym and you're still gonna wanna fuck him, okay? That's not going away. Our biology isn't going away. You just have to make better choices. And you have to constantly, as a woman, and I think men do this too, men do whatever the fuck they want. Men ask for whatever the fuck they want. We have to, again, like with the 4B movement, match their energy, right? So I think it's a great learning lesson for women. I think there's a lot of positives that are coming out of it, but I don't think just saying F men 100% is healthy. It's such an us versus them mentality. It's such a, like, bitch, like, it's so, like, come on, you know?
Swing and a miss. Just like this crappy article trying to find a middle ground. Ladies, here's the bottom line. Don't look for men. Look for men. Watch men at the gym. It really don't matter. As long as you carry the mentality that traditional femininity is regression, you're screwed. Destined to complete the same miserable generational cycle that you always fail to take accountability for.
Here we go again.
In response to rising gender inequality, women should harness their political and economic power to demand change rather than limit ourselves to our SEXUAL power. We would be best served by rejecting unequal household duties, engaging in a consumer strike, or boycotting discriminatory companies.
I'm too old for this shit.
Women also must take this opportunity to bring men along with us. Changing gender roles is a main reason many young men say they feel economically and socially left behind. Instead of boycotting men, feminists should acknowledge the legitimate ways men have lost ground in education, employment, and health, and find ways to craft a feminist message that includes them in the project of ensuring equal rights for us all. Lady, speak for yourself. The hardworking men watching this collapse are covered. Your college education clearly hasn't helped you see beyond yourself. All of you are getting laid off. And lastly, when you look at the stats for antidepressants, as well as honesty rates when answering simple questions, I think we all know who is the miserable party. Yes, men feel the sensation of loneliness, but that quickly gets resolved by finding friends and working towards a meaningful goal. Without us, women are adrift, shaving their heads, screaming with picket signs, and plunging into massive amounts of debt. You lost, because you yourselves have been lost for 100 years.
As a woman, I'm going to tell you what we are not attracted to. If a man asks to go 50-50 for anything, leave.
Do you feel like, as a woman, you could live on this planet without a man forever?
No.
So you feel like you need someone?
I think that men are a vital, important part of our culture that we still need.
So you believe that this should be a partner, like a woman and a man should be together at some point?
Yeah. I mean, I think whatever the Lord has in place for people, that's what He has in place. But I think it's also important to have like that partner if you are wanting a marriage like that. You know, if we go back to the first question that you asked. So.
What if those girls that say, hey, I don't need a man, fuck that? What do you got to say about that?
I think they have pride in the way and they need to humble themselves.
Hey, did you hear that? Hey, did you hear that?
Ego is the enemy. That's a good book.
Can you cook?
No, I'm learning.
Okay, you know how to wash dishes?
Yeah.
Are you a nice person?
I would say I always do my best to be a nice person. Nobody's perfect.
Would you submit to a guy?
I think every day I learn more and more, but no, but like I wasn't naturally that way. Like I was completely the opposite growing up. So.
I like this one.
How many kids do you want?
I want 2 twin boys, and then I want a girl, and then maybe another one of my own. I don't know, and then I want to foster as well and adopt.
Oh, you want a big family?
Yeah.
The tide is shifting, ladies. Either get with the program or enjoy the many cats you'll have in your studio apartment. Guys, the silver lining here is that many of the women in this feminist civil war are beyond redemption anyway. They either swore off men years ago, which doesn't affect anything, or they followed a life plan that has left them incapable of pair bonding anyway. I've been calling it a civil war for the segment, but all this really is a snake that continues to eat its tail. Recent events just prove that women have never been united on a single issue. They all have their own way of defining how the real world works, and all of their takes on it are driven by self-interest and greed. Nothing has been lost, nothing has been gained. The only thing to do now is to continue gleefully walking away and having a good laugh at the mess these chicks created for themselves. Let history tell the tale while we live our present lives free and blissfully indifferent to whatever Socratic seminar they cook up every week. This is the way. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that sub button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick sec to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is down below in the description so we can be sure that our message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, y'all, and I want to wish you all tremendous success.